Life is steadily returning to Pulka, one of the towns on the fringes of the Sambisa forest. Security has improved in recent months, although it's still fluid. The population continues to grow as more people who fled to Cameroon for refuge are returning. Boko Haram invaded the town in 2014 and left destruction and death on its trail. Nothing was spared. They took many captive, mostly women and children. This young woman was among those taken captive by the insurgents. She asked not to be identified. She was taken into the Sambisa and was forced to live in squalor with the insurgents.
They invaded our community in 2014. I was among those taken hostage. We were kept in what looked like a room in Sambisa. I was held against my will until I found freedom.
This camp at the base of this rock formation has 500 shelters. Most of the inhabitants were in the Sambisa, lived for years with insurgents, but when they found freedom recently, they were brought to settle here.
Life in the camp is a struggle for survival, although humanitarian agencies are trying to make it worthwhile. From food to water, the people survive on handouts. On this day, grains and improved seeds are being distributed to the people for planting. This is to ensure they get something to feed on by the next harvest season. Food items are stored in this warehouse established under the World Food Programme.
The whole of this is sorghum.
Emmanuel Osemeka is the focal person.
We store here. There are trucks down here we store, then we distribute. No, we distribute them individually to the people, but to those holding camps, those are returnee camps or new arrival camps. We feed them because they are entitled. They are part of the first priority one in the most vulnerable because they just arrived and they probably arrived with nothing. So the first thing is food.
But the funding gaps are forcing the aid agencies to have a rethink.
The issue is that you also look at now that funds are not coming as it used to be. So very soon we're going into targeted distribution, which means that we're going to target the most vulnerable, food insecure people.
It's mealtime at this camp. The women gather to prepare the meal. The feeding is done according to clans. This is to ensure everyone gets something to eat. Water is ferried in from boreholes established outside the camps. The people of Pulka are picking up the pieces of their lives. But the relics of the insurgency remains a painful reminder of what they have passed through. Sifon, TVC News, Pulka.